So what we doing? Virgo and Pisces, what y'all doing? Y'all arguing it? What y'all doing? Y'all arguing? Yo, the nerve of me, right? Because I just got finished talking wild about y'all, and here I am doing a relationship video, right? A relationship video for us at that. But nonetheless, it's the stuff we go through, man. You know what I mean? This is what it is. We're all learning, you know. Like I be saying, nothing is final, but you know what I mean. I'm not taking back anything I said, but you know, we're all learning here. So let's get into it, though. I ain't gonna drag this. You know what I'm saying? Pisces and Virgo. You know what I'm gonna do this time around? I'm gonna run through the whole Virgo lineup for the forecast, and then I'm gonna follow up with the Pisces thing, so you can understand better, Virgo, how I even become this, how I even come to say the things that I do say about this relationship, this pairing, and the things that I say. So you can see how a Pisces critical analysis is of this during a transit, especially one right now, because Virgo, your sign, is Pisces' 7th house of relationships under the horoscope. All right, so Virgo, the sun is in your first house, of course, which means the embodiment, the self, the shell, the protective shell that protects your soul, right? So no matter what, you're going to be into yourself at this time. Visible. I don't know how highly visible, but visible nonetheless, because it could differ. You know what I'm saying? You can get in the hermit mode and you might not pop up anywhere, and that's understandable. Especially for people who know that, you know. So hopefully y'all watching, remember that Virgos can get in hermit mode and get low, you know. Just letting y'all know. But you're also analytical. You're also studious right now, or just basically hard at work. You know what I mean? Doing what Virgos do. Virgo and like a Virgo. This is to the working Virgos. You know what I'm saying? Those of y'all who haven't caught up yet, just take notes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can change. Everybody's got a time. So, with that being said, analytical, watching things, working, thinking of a method, doing some type of planning. You're planning something. We're going to get more into that when it comes to Mercury and your other personal planets. We can get a better idea of what it is that you're planning, but you're up to something. And whoever knows and whoever doesn't know, I would say whoever knows is probably going to be watching you as well, Virgo. So you got to be aware of this, especially with a Pisces partner who has Virgo in the 7th house right now. If you're not being vocal about what it is that you're planning or that you're working on, if you are visible under the observer's eye, people are going to identify it, you know? Even the people who don't have such of a strong observation skill, during your season, it can and will enhance, because that's what you master in, you know what I mean? So yeah, now let's get into Mercury being in your first house as well. So this is where the thoughts are circulating. This is where you are having the ability to sort things out in your brain, move them around so they're not just jumbled, but fixing them in a way that it's like a chessboard. If someone moves like this, you move like that. If they move like this, you got to counter move for that. You got to move for that, move, or move for that, move. And this is sometimes what can make y'all have this nervous, high tension thing going on. This can cause the anxiety that occurs with Virgos as well, and it's because you got a scenario fixed up for any type of different move that occurs. You know, this is mutable energy. This is how mutable signs behave. And with Virgo being a mercurial sign, even more, right? Because the mental processes are arranging for a number of scenarios. However, we're existing in the moment of time, right? So you can see how challenging that can be for one individual to hold on to. And this is what pisses Pisces off sometimes. Well, no, for real, this is what can piss your Pisces partner off, is if you express your concerns and you express your worry. I've been through this when I did the what video was that, y'all, the Pisces and Virgo pull it together. Y'all pull it together, you know, of how. But this is where Pisces, your partner, can balance you out, because they're in the spiritual world. They're in the other realm, right? So they can check on things over there. I know this may sound like some movie script, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, if you get to talking to Pisces, the Pisces that's in tune anyway, that you can trust their wisdom based upon some what do you call it, spooky science that became facts, then I would tell you, look into that and confirm through that. Use that confirmation and say, okay, I can actually listen to this person, man or female, your partner or not. You know what I mean? So you can bring some of that anxiety down. There might be some worries and concerns that you have that just don't exist because you're in the moment. You should be in the moment and not missing the moment. Use your conscious reasoning at this time. Mercury is going to go into your second house in the sign of Libra on the 7th of September anyway. So this is what I need to tell you, right, Virgo? Listen, what you say right now is critical. It's crucial. And it could be, well, critical and crucial is kind of like negative, right? So I would say what you say right now is essential. It's important. And what I mean by that is how you deliver your tone, the vocabulary that you use right now is going to prop you up and set you up to get some money. All right? Because Libra, the second sign for you is where the money is. That's where the money goes for you. So whatever's done in the sign preceding the sign that we're talking about is where the benefit is going to go, right? So if you're in the first house, you're going to benefit in the second house, and the second house just happens to be the house of money, right? So I'm a Pisces, I'm really paying attention. I'm really looking out right now. You know what I'm saying? Because if I want some of your money, I'm going to tell you how to get it. So this is what needs to be understood. If you're going to be critical, right? You're going to be analytical and you're going to be critical about other people. Be sure to know this, that when you rub people the wrong way, that it comes with some disdain. It comes with some, they think they're this, they think they're that, they think they're all of that. It's going to come with that. Now, if you're used to that, like if you're in the press, which I'm about to get to because let me dip off a little bit. You got something going on in the 6th house, right? Yes, Saturn is in the 6th house in the sign of Aquarius. So if you like working on the internet, I'm jumping around, but I got to make my points for you for real. If you're working on the internet, say for instance, right? Mercury is inside of your first house. Everybody got eyes on you right now because the sun is in your first house. So when you speak, everybody's eyes on you because Mercury's in your first house. The way you communicate is going to be taken at full speed ahead, at full value, because the lights are turned on you. So what you say right now can do a whole lot of either benefits, healing, or it could do some damage. Now, I'm not telling you which side to choose, all right? That's you. You're your own individual. Now, when I get to the Pisces part, I'm going to tell you what I suggest and what I advise, but I'm telling you right now how it goes for you. Right? Because all press is good press. So what I'm saying is if you say something that's analytical and critical of people and you pushing that whole perfect agenda on to your audience, be prepared for backlash. Be prepared for perhaps not getting the bag because of what you said and how you said it. And of course, we know, especially in these days and times, that there's a flip side to that, right? Something that you say, it might have shock value to it. Something that you do, right? Sun is in your first house. Something that you do, something that you wear might have shock value to it. It might make a frenzy on the internet. Either way you choose to do it, It might just run your name up, run your numbers up, run your views up, whatever the case may be. But you got to be prepared to handle backlash that is infamy or become infamous because of it. And sometimes we don't truly know, right? We can't hedge on it. So we can't really say, do the right thing or say the correct things, be politically correct. What if you have something on your mind that you really feel you need to get off to relieve the tension and the anxiety that you have within you? I'm not going to tell you not to do it. See, I'm giving my advice right now. So I'm kind of like meshing it in. Y'all know already though, my sun in Mercury is in Virgo as well, and it's the 7th house for me. So I can talk through it as we continue. You know what I mean? So if that's something that's bothering you, if you can't let it go, I advise to say it. Say what you need to say. You know what I'm saying? Say it on the internet. You don't have to be face to face with anybody, And I'm saying that not to say that you're scared or that you should be. What I'm saying is the internet does at least give people the ability to say things from long distance. And I know a lot of people say it's cowardly and stuff like that. However, at the same time, like sometimes A lot of wars don't have to be fought because somebody who has opinion that opposes another person's opinion gets discussed on the internet, and then they can go back and forth however they choose to do it. They can go back and forth, and nowadays, like, really pay attention. People are making money off of this, just by expressing their opinions, and they can oppose. Back in the days, we would always be face to face, or it would be more important to find people and be face to face because it'd be that word of mouth stuff going on. You know what I mean? We want to meet up in the clubs and do all of that stuff, but now a lot of this stuff is just living on the internet, and our differences are just verbalized. They can be worked out. These are transits. They come and go. These feelings come and go. You know what I mean? But it shouldn't have to cause people to make certain decisions based upon what they think, their critical thinking. No, because you still got to do what? You still got to go out and make your bread some type of way. You still got to communicate. You still see your family, your loved ones, your friends, whatever the case may be, right? Those are just everyday decisions that you can make without utilizing the internet or saying whatever it is that you got to say to anyone. We're going to get to the workplace in a minute, but I just want to lay down the fundamentals of what's going on right now, right? The more personal things. So let's get back to Mercury going into Libra for you in your second house. You're going to know how well you did by what you wore during Virgo season, by what you projected during Virgo season, and what you said during Virgo season, based upon what type of deals you get when Mercury goes into the second house. And when Mercury goes into the second house on the 7th of September, it's going to get there before the sun gets to Libra. So this is going to give you an opportunity to speak even more and negotiate something even more that can at least plant the seed, because it might take some time for it to actualize, because Mercury's going retrograde in September 10th. So when the sun comes into Libra in the second house, the concentration and the focus is going to be there. But with Mercury being retrograde, it might pump the brakes on people making a final decision with what they're going to do with you in regards to wealth. You understand what I'm saying? So during that time, what helps is that you first spoke about it when Mercury got there, and even before that, while Mercury is in Virgo, and with the sun being there, at least the focus and the concentration will be there for everybody, all players involved. So it enhances Mercury being retrograde. You get what I'm saying? Because people are not just going to take it lightly and just brush you off. They're going to actually pay more attention to it because it was already brought into their mind. You know what I mean? You already planted the seed for that. So know yourself is what I'm saying. Know yourself right now. I'm watching. I'm a Pisces. I'm watching to see how well you know yourself, how well you plan and set up what it is that you're saying for what's coming next. You understand? And whether you're ready to weather any type of storm that comes with saying whatever it is that you're going to say. All right? But the reason why I say know yourself is because that mutable energy, it doesn't matter what I say, right? But if you don't have to backbite, don't. Is pretty much what I'm saying. So what's going to help what I'm saying even more is getting into the planet Venus. Let's get into planet Venus right now. It's important. The planet Venus is in your 12th house of Leo. All right. So what this means is you should be focused on a bag because Venus is the money planet, right? So you should be focused on money, but in a certain type of way. Like I've been saying in prior videos, when it comes to the 12th house, how valued are you by your country? Find this out. Because Venus falls in the sign of Virgo, but in the Western world, in the materialistic world, Virgo, if you happen to be one of those materialistic girls or one of the materialistic guys, it's a good thing for you. Shout out to KRS channel because he put me onto this. And I've looked at it and I'm like, wow, this is true. It's pretty backwards, but you know what? It has validity. But this is what's important. If you're one of those people, Virgo, that get uncomfortable and feel like more money is more problems every time you behave in this way that focuses on the best threads, the best cars, the best places, the best hotels, the best restaurants, the biggest bag. If you're not comfortable there, and if it interrupts your well-being, this is what you should be thinking about right now in isolation while Venus is in such a spiritual house, because Venus is exalted in the 12th house, right? It's Pisces normal sign. It's not in Pisces for you, it's in Leo, but With it being in the 12th house, it likes being there because you get to figure out what's really valuable that doesn't have a price tag on it. You know, it could be mere interaction with another person, another faction, another way of life, and just a wider scope of things, a bigger picture mindset instead of get on the grind, get the money, do what you do, provide the service, right? Virgo's a service sign, and then go home and do what it is, whatever you want to do. It can get pretty routine, and I know you love routine, but are you going to spice it up? You know what I'm saying? Venus is going to show you that right now. What type of interactions are you having behind the scenes? You understand what I'm saying? And so I would advise when Venus don't really get to talking money until September 6th, because Venus will be out of the 12th house, and what's happening in the 12th house with money right now should be kept confidential, if you ask me. And when it enters Virgo, then you can start doing what you're doing. Whatever type of promotional thing you got going on for what you got coming up, when September 6th come around, that's when you start marketing that joint. Anything dealing with beauty products, fashion, if you putting that shit on, put that shit on. When September 6th roll around, that first week of September, do what you do. Should it be related to what it is that you're going to be continuing to do? Like, you're going to show out at this time, all right? Because that's going to help you secure deals relative to the bag, because they're going to see what you put on. Venus rules over those things, like art. If you're doing anything artful, if you're doing anything that deals with jewelry, the necklaces, right? That's Venus. This could even be if you got like a YouTube channel where you baking cakes and cupcakes and stuff like that. You know, you can get it popping, yo. But this is the time to promote it, to show it, and interact with your audience, whoever they are, wherever they are. If you got a brick and mortar store and you're not online, you do it there. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing it out your crib, you do it there. You know, but that's the time for you to do that. Now, you got Mars inside of the sign Gemini, of course, and that's your 10th house. Gemini is your 10th house under the sun sign horoscope. So, with that being said, this whole speaking thing that I'm talking about, right? Being prepared to say what it is that you're going to say. You could actually defend a side of something, right? So let's say, I'm going to say for controversial's sake, because it's a given if you're saying something that is very politically correct, something that is upright or righteous or something, right? That's sometimes a no-brainer for all people. Even those who do evil, they might hear like, oh, well, that's good, and I wish I could do good or better or whatever, right? Say apart from that, let's say you gotta defend something. It might be your own thoughts. It might be you're defending someone else. Be a great time for this. I'm not encouraging you to go out there and just go to war, but I'm just telling you, with Mars, the warrior planet, being in Gemini, this could be a great time to do it. However this transpires can boost your career, but also, like I said before, 10th house is fame or infamy. You know, so it could be like the first thing I think of, sex tape type fame, right? Some people look at that as infamy, you know, or it could be you're famous for winning a Nobel Peace Prize for doing something, I don't know, dealing with the ocean or something, you know. So this could be a good time for that, you know. But this is what I gotta tell you, yo. People, you'll have a handful of people that care about your opinion. Nobody, listen, fuck your opinion right now. Like, I'm gonna just be real with you, yo. Fuck your opinion right now. Like, if you got an opinion on something that you're defending, that you're standing up for, first of all, think about your money. How does it impact your money? And we might get into a different conversation later on in life and say, oh, but you know what? This is a cause that I believe in and that I stand up for. There's other lessons and there's other ways to do that. It's not about what you do, it's how you do it. But if you're using a mouthpiece to get you ahead, to get you to rub shoulders with people that you need to rub shoulders with to get your goals accomplished, we know you love them goals, Virgo, then you got to make a decision on whether it's going to be hindering to the bag or helpful to the bag. You understand what I'm saying? So The reason why I say fuck your opinion is because you're a Virgo, yo. Do the research. You understand? And this is the main reason why I'm telling you to do that, because again, I gotta jump to Saturn being in Aquarius for you in the 6th house, which is a work environment, right? Aquarius rules over the internet, so if you're doing this stuff on the internet, right? Aquarius is an objective sign. It's an objective sign. So it brings everyone gregarious under the firmament. However, I'm not saying that you can't sway to one side, but you got to understand this: your moral scope, your right and wrong is not everyone else's right or wrong. So however you lay this out, whatever you defend, whatever you stick up for, it's going to fall in one of these slices of the pie in Aquarius. And there's 12 of them. We talking zodiac shit right now, right? It's going to fall in one of them slices, and that's okay. However, like I'm saying, Aquarius is objective. You got to come with the facts. You like being perfect, right? You like saying this is the correct way to do stuff, and whoever doesn't do it, they're dumb, right? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. That's how you are, right? So do the research. Come with some facts. Go look up some blogs. All I would say, let me rephrase that. Go look up some scholastic literature that the scientists use, all right? And reference them if you have to. And say, look, I'm stating this because X, Y, and Z. And this could range from the smallest of things. Don't think that you could hear something that's like gossipy or celebrity news and you can't go research some facts that's peer reviewed, because you can. Trust me, you can. Get some facts. Research it. You do analytics all the time. Research some facts. Open up your argument with that, and then you can go off what you feel and all of that, because obviously when you got facts to support what it is that you feel, you even feel more confidence. Here's a gem for the Virgo energy in general. When you read, like let's say you feel a symptom in your body, this is Virgo power. When you read up on what fixes that ailment, the body self-heals. That's a gem for you. So just think about this in the same regards. If you come up with something that you disagree with in life and you want to speak about it, go look up some facts. This way, when anybody who tries to counter it says, let's say somebody tries to counter it, if they don't come with facts that can counter it, they can. Don't sleep. You know, we do this in scholastics all the time. But who's going to really take the time and go do that, right? And not for nothing, because you got peer-reviewed research and stuff like that, you're going to have other articles that support what you say too. You know, so it's going to just have stronger impact. It's going to give you more tact. This is what my point is. If you're not using tact right now, Virgo, it could be all bad, yo. And it could result in the type of stuff that I say that pisses me off when I talk with y'all, because it's tact. If you all foul-mouthed and you just flying off of the hip because of what your moral compass is, and you think what you believe to be correct, and because things have to be perfect, you got to understand that's why we all different. That's why there's 12 signs in the zodiac, you know? I learned this in school too. Every morals mean what's right and what's wrong, right? Slavery, is it moral to you? It's moral to some, and it's not moral to others, right? But it was made law. So does that make it perfect? Does that make it correct? You get what I'm saying? So I'm not saying don't do what you do. What I'm saying is get your facts straight. Get your facts straight, and then come out and do what it is that you got to do. And with Saturn being retrograde in the Aquarius, I want you to think back on times that it didn't work in your favor. That stuff that you said backfired on you, especially on the internet. All right, and if it's dealing with work environment, which 9 times right now it is going to be, I want you to think about that, right? Again, back to your health, your well-being, your mental health included. If this type of work makes you feel ill, this is the time to think about it and reflect on it, because you might just want to pump the brakes on it altogether if that's the case. This is the time to look and study this stuff, yo. So let me rewind a little bit and get to Jupiter being in the 8th house of Aries for you, retrograde. You might be thinking about some sex. Straight up, you might want to get it on and popping, Virgo. And you know, you could be if you're a female, you could look, male or female, you could be really aggressive at this time. You could be really aggressive at this time. You might even do overkill. You know what I mean? It's a potentiality. It's a possibility. But at the same time, Jupiter is retrograde here too. So I'd advise you think about your last sexual encounter and how that made you feel mentally afterwards, to the point where it's like, was this the right thing to do? You know, did you feel justified in it? Did you feel that you have freedom before and after, or after you on lockdown now, you cuffed up, or, you know, now you got stalkers and stuff like that? Like, how did it make you feel overall as a human being? Do you feel freer because of your last sexual encounter? And if you didn't, that's something to think about before you get involved again. If you didn't feel all great about it and free and stuff like that, reflect on that and use the mind. Look at the psychology of what happened. You know, is there anything deep inside of the psyche that has you second guessing, or, you know, wanting to do something different this time around? Because before it might have just been casual sex. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I mean? But that's something to think about and reflect on, because this can help you transition when it comes to a certain particular way of life that can help you get money. All right? If you develop a way of life that can earn you some bread, this is the time to internalize and think about that right now. Because not only is Jupiter a money planet, Jupiter will be going to your 9th house eventually in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is a money sign. All right? So the higher education that you get during this time right now, that can come from what you're going through if you're not going to college, or just a way of life that's just born onto you now because of what you've learned, then you can see yourself benefit from that. Now, let me get to me and the Pisces people and stuff, right? We've been through the sun, we've been through Mercury. You already know that's in Virgo for us. We got Venus in the 6th house of Leo for us. So with this, how should I say this? I had this really down packed earlier too when I was thinking about it. With Venus being in the 6th house, it's like we really got to prepare for the 7th house, for Venus going into the 7th house. All right? Because Virgo is there. So we got to ask ourselves, once Venus gets to Virgo in September 6th, we got to ask ourselves, was it worth it? Is it worth treating ourselves like royalty? Is it worth looking for someone else who's going to treat us like royalty, who's going to reciprocate royalty? Because if not, it's going to get critical, baby. Like, you're going to see your Pisces partner, whether they're going to flood you with, even if it's not the actual interaction of spending money with you, on you, or something like that, they should at least be discussing the idea. And if they're not, if they're pulling back on that, then you should understand that there's something that you got to work on, because they peep something about you and they don't feel like it's worth it. They don't feel like it's worth it, you know? So I'm not telling you to stroke, your Pisces ego, but treat them fairly, you know? Treat her fairly, you know? If they're putting some type of energy out and it's soothing, learn how to reciprocate. And if you can't reciprocate it because Venus is in your 12th house, then it's really going to be an issue. Because if you can't reciprocate Venus love while it's in your 12th house, you have some real work to do on yourself. Flat out. It's exalted there. You got some work to do on yourself. And the Pisces is going to be paying attention to this large scale when the beginning of September rolls around. Alright? Now, Jupiter let's get to Mars. No, Mars in Gemini for Pisces. This I want to get more into as well. I spoke on it before in a different horoscope, but I'm going to speak on it a little bit more now. Mars should obey that Saturn is an authority right now. So it's not time to get all wild, Pisces. It's really not. It's time to spearhead things in your home life, in your domestic life. And some of y'all are loners. Y'all can't really confirm a domestic life. But that's cool. That's okay. You know, And I mean those of y'all who are in relationships and all that with your Virgos and all that. You know what I'm saying? You still have this like isolated manner about yourself that at the time is like, I want to be alone. I want to be alone. You know? So with Mars being a solo planet, it's a solo act. You got to realize that you're spearheading something right now that's going to be for the long haul. And it may not necessarily feel like it. It may feel like you're losing ground when you're trying to put this thing together, because the fourth house is not a stable house. It wants to be. All right? If it began that way, we wouldn't have the emotions of the moon running through the Kansas and the Kansas saying, well, I got to go back out and get it and all that. If it was stable, that's the part of the fourth house that initiates the motion needed to obtain security and learn what true security is. Sometimes it's not 70 work hours a week and how much that pays. You know, sometimes security is just being able to wake up late in your pajamas, eat some pancakes, stuff your face, get a mimosa, put lime juice in it instead of orange juice. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, and just be like, yo, you know, big blanket, big munchies type stuff, and just be like, yo, I'm grateful for this day. You know, sometimes that means so much that this Mars being in the fourth house for you Pisces should let you know that. You know, try to figure out how not only Mars being a cardinal planet like sets stuff off, right? Starts a lot of things, but how it can help being in the fourth house, because the fourth house is also a cardinal house. So you need to be starting something that's relative to the home life, to the domestic life. Now you may have decided that you don't want more than what you and your Virgo lover got, right? Y'all might just be with each other with no kids and stuff like that, and you might be cool with that, you know? If so, set it off that way, make that visible, make that known, take action on that, and like set up something for the long haul that states that. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have no beneficiaries, right? If you ain't got no kid. So what you gonna do? You gonna leave it to the government? You know, think about stuff like that. You know what I mean? This is the time to do that, and you don't even gotta put too much energy into it, because Mars is early on in the sign of Gemini right now. You feel me? So let it simmer while you do more of the work, with Saturn being in your 12th house. Do that isolated work, do that internet work, do that just do that high vibrational work that gets people together. Even if it's not on the same accord, at least get people talking about the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? But put the work in, do the work. It's not supposed to be some biased thing going on with Saturn there. Saturn is an unbiased planet. It's do the work, you reap the rewards. When, let's not bet on it, because Saturn will have a drought sometimes. And you'll be like, what the fuck? You know? Real shit. But yeah, what was I saying? Okay, so let's get to Jupiter being in the Aries for the second house, Pisces. Did I have something new to say about that? Well, how does Virgo play a part in your connections to bring more connections? How about that? When you speak with your significant other, your lover, your Virgo lover, right? Do they bring other people to the table? Do they bring other assets, other resources to the table, other connections? Do they plug you in? And maybe y'all don't have a relationship like that. But if you do, or if you look, don't be pump faking is pretty much what I'm saying. Don't act like y'all do when y'all really don't, you know? Because that could be a hindrance in the relationship as well, of why y'all got resources that y'all keep to yourselves and y'all don't put each other on to. Now, this is more of a thing if you're struggling right now, Pisces, and Virgo is like watching you struggle, you know, and they're just watching you crawl, and it's just, that's so cynical. Like, come on, cut it out, right? So, although the second house is a personal house, they might sense that. The Virgo might sense that and be like, man, you don't need nothing else, because all you're gonna do is get yourself flying, like front on me, stun on me, leave me or something. You know what I'm saying? That type of energy could be there. But it's important to know, both of y'all, that Jupiter is an expansive planet, meaning other people are gonna be involved whether you like it or not. You know, whether you like it or not. So what each of you should do, because Jupiter's in Aries for both of y'all. What each of you should do is realize that, accept that, and just decide that y'all are going to be the deciders of who is going to be involved and who's not going to be involved. Y'all come to terms with that, y'all going to be good. You know? Retrograde is going to give you the hints of what went wrong, where it went wrong, right? And Pisces, if Virgo is like tearing you apart because of that, you're going to have to eat this one. You know, if they're knowledgeable on something that went and took place and it went wrong, like it failed, and y'all are a couple and that's how they know about it, then you're going to have to eat that. You're going to have to find a way to fix that. You know what I'm saying? This is the time to look at that. If some people got to get cut off, they got to get cut off, yo. It just is what it is. And Virgo's going to be more concentrated on that. And you want me to tell you why? Because the 8th house is about other people's resources. So with Jupiter being there for Virgo, they're going to be like, man, we late on that bill because you messed with so-and-so. Like, don't you see? Like, that ain't your friend. Or there's too much hype behind them or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? That company ain't right, you know? So you're going to have to eat that if that's what the case is. Word. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Now, yeah, I'd say when it comes to Saturn being in the 6th house for Virgo, I'd really say when it comes to Saturn, period, I would say y'all mind y'all business on each other's stuff. You know what I'm saying? 12th house for Pisces, 6th house for Virgo. And the reason why I'm saying it is because Virgo may have so much work and reflecting to do in the 6th house. If you don't work with your Virgo, then just fall back and mind your business. You know what I'm saying? And Virgo, do the same for your Pisces, because 12th house is house of isolation, you know? So they might have to get away from you in order to do the work that they need to do. This is dutiful. Like, this is discipline, dutiful commitment when it comes to Saturn. You understand what I'm saying? Something has to get done, like it or not, you know? And a lot of the time people don't like it, but it just has to be done. So y'all keep that in mind. That's what I got for y'all right now. Get in the comment section if you can confirm, if you can deny. Get in the comment section if you want to extend on this until mid-September. I'll see y'all.